Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into something that honestly completely shifted how I view my own daily habits. We live in a world that is heavily, deliberately designed to capture our time. And today, we're going to unpack exactly how platforms like Netflix and TikTok pull this off. But more importantly, we're going to look at how an ancient concept might just be the absolute ultimate key to reclaiming our sovereignty. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you actively decided what to watch? I'm going to pause for a second. Really think about it. Most of us probably can't even remember. And hey, if you're feeling a little discomfort right now, that's totally normal. That is just the realization of a pretty hard truth settling in. You see, we have this illusion of choice. The literal second you open Netflix, before you can even blink, a preview just starts blasting at you. You didn't choose that. The algorithm did. Open TikTok? Boom, a video is instantly playing. We like to think we're choosing, but the reality is, we've been downgraded. We went from being active choosers to just passive approvers. Your only real job now is basically just rejecting endless algorithmic suggestions. You are no longer the master of your screen. Section 1. The Invisible Attention War. Look, this media environment we're in, it is not an accident. It is a meticulously crafted battlefield designed by brilliant engineers and behavioral scientists to keep your eyeballs glued to that screen. And how do they do it? By harvesting what they call micro-behaviors. Seriously, algorithms do not care what you say you like. They track the exact fraction of a second you pause on a video. They are tracking your scrolling speed, when your pupils dilate, exactly where you rewind and rewatch. They collect hundreds of invisible signals every single second to build a terrifyingly accurate profile of you. And the result of all that data collection? It's absolutely staggering. Check this out. After you watch just 100 TikTok videos, the algorithm knows you better than your partner does. After 500 videos, it knows you better than your mom. And get this, after 2,000 videos, it actually knows you better than you know yourself. There is no way around it. The machine completely surpasses human intimacy when it comes to understanding your deepest habits and vulnerabilities. So here's the really crucial catch. What you can't stop watching is completely different from what you genuinely like. Think about it. When you watch something you truly enjoy, you feel satisfied, right? You can just stop. But the algorithm doesn't want that. It deliberately feeds you endless, fragmented stimulation. It wants to keep you in a state of constant hunger, always swiping for that next little dopamine hit, ensuring you literally never feel full. Which leads us to this massive number, 700. If you calculate the time spent on passive, unchosen viewing, it easily hits 2 to 4 hours a day. That is a minimum of 700 hours a year. To put that into perspective, our source material refers to this as a massive karmic drain. 700 hours is practically a part-time job. It is enough time to write a whole book or learn a new language. But instead, it's just lost to a blur of content you definitely won't even remember tomorrow. Section 2. The Unhackable Self-Nature. So how do we fight this thoroughly modern trap? Well, we can actually look back to an ancient, deeply empowering concept that shifts the balance of power right back to you. 2,500 years ago, thinkers defined a concept called self-nature. It's the unshakable, fully present, aware core of your consciousness. Think of it kind of like your eye. Your eye sees beautiful things, it sees ugly things, but the eye itself, it doesn't change. It just observes. Your self-nature is that exact same thing. It is the part of you that observes your thoughts, your emotions, and your desires without actually becoming them. And here is the absolute most vital thing you need to know today. Self-nature is the one single part of your consciousness that Silicon Valley engineers cannot hack. It literally cannot be manipulated by external stimuli. But listen, before we can awaken that self-nature, we need a bit of a harsh wake-up call. We aren't just consumers here. We are free labor. These platforms make way more money selling our behavioral data, our pupil dilations, our watch history, the whole shebang, than they ever do from subscription fees. Our deep attention is literally a billion-dollar product. Realizing that you are the free labor training their algorithms is absolutely the first step to protecting your focus. Section 3. Sovereignty Practice Checklist. Okay, so let's get into the core focus of our explainer today. We're going to break down a highly practical framework so you can stop being free labor and start reclaiming your digital life. It all comes down to 3 concrete steps in a sovereignty practice checklist. Number 1, practice 20 minutes of intentional boredom daily. Number 2, pause for half a second before opening any app. And number 3, build a weekly active curation list. Let's dive into how practicing these daily actually helps you win the war. All right, step 1 is absolutely crucial. You need to practice 20 minutes of intentional boredom every single day. That means no phone, no TV, no podcasts playing in the background. Just sit, or maybe take a walk. Now, I'll be honest with you, the first 5 minutes, they're going to be brutal. You're going to feel intense boredom, probably some anxiety, and a massive craving for stimuli. But remember, that anxiety is literally just withdrawal. It is a glaring message showing exactly how dependent your nervous system is on constant noise. But if you push through that, after about 15 to 20 minutes, something pretty magical happens. The noise starts to fade, your breathing settles, and your self-nature surfaces. You suddenly discover that you exist perfectly well without constant stimulation. Moving on to step 2. This one is incredibly simple, but a real game changer. Right as your finger is about to touch that TikTok or Instagram icon, pause, just for half a second, and ask yourself one question. What do I want to get from opening this? If the answer is, hey, I want to watch a specific creator's new video, then great, watch it and close the app. But if your answer is, honestly, I don't know, I just kind of want to scroll, then the algorithm is winning. Simply asking this one question interrupts that automatic habit loop. In fact, it naturally reduces mindless app usage by up to 50%. And finally, step 3. This is how you transition from being a passive scroller to an active curator. Every Sunday, sit down and spend just 15 minutes pre-selecting your media diet for the entire week. Pick a movie, grab 2 books, maybe line up 3 specific podcast episodes. During the week, you only consume what's on your list. You are intentionally, actively rejecting the algorithm's wild, endless defaults. Now, initially, you might feel a little bored, but within weeks, you are going to discover massive amounts of free space opening up in your life for deep work, exercise, or having real conversations with the people around you. Section 4. Tech is tool, not master. So, to maintain this sovereignty for the long haul, we've got to establish some new mental paradigms. I want you to think of modern information as a massive, raging flood pouring towards you every single day. You cannot control the volume of that water. It's impossible. But you are the riverbank. If your inner riverbank is weak, that flood is just going to wash you right away into a sea of anxiety. But if you practice your self-nature, if you strengthen that riverbank, you can actually filter, integrate, and shape that flow of information so that it nourishes you instead of drowning you. Our second paradigm requires you to ask a single, sharp question every single day. Today, did I use technology or did technology use me? Look, modern tech is explicitly designed to make us forget that it's really just a piece of glass and metal in our hands. Asking yourself this question daily keeps your awareness sharp. It stops your smartphone from slowly, quietly morphing back into your master. So the very next time you catch yourself mindlessly scrolling for an hour, and it happens to all of us, try this. Put the phone down and just close your eyes for 30 seconds. In that quiet darkness, I want you to look for the you who can feel. That right there, that is your self-nature. It never actually disappeared. It was just temporarily drowned out by all the noise. Reclaiming your sovereignty starts right there, in those 30 seconds. As we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with one final profound question to really chew on. When all the stimuli are taken away, who is the you that remains?